welcome to the genetically modified corn maze. If I may, please tell you a story before you go in. All summer long, Schoolcraft students, Phi Theta Kappa Honor Society, have been doing a research project. We were focusing on competition and food, specifically how and why has corn emerged as a competitive crop. Now, our research findings are presented in this maze, and though we present it in a haunted way, there are serious issues at play. So please take your time to read the signs so you may see what is behind the scene, and see what there is to be seen, and say what there is left to be unsaid. Now please, take your time as you walk amongst the undead.
Somebody coming through our corn maze. Oh my God!
I hope he ain't no one of your extended family members trying to get some cash.
Honey Sugar Pie, we got so much cash. We could buy a donkey for all your second cousins and their second cousins. Just look at this here golden pitchfork. It's made of gold.
Y'all probably wondering where we got our cash from our cash crown.
Phyllis, let me tell them. It's because them GMOs, the genetically modified organisms. Look at this corn.
Oh my God.
It's got bigger kernels than normal corn. You don't have to spray as much insecticides on it, and when you grow it, you get more corn and more money from families like me and Phyllis. You know what I mean?
You know, with all the money we make, you would think that he'd clean his teeth.
Phyllis, nice people come in and talk about my teeth, embarrassing me. Come on.
Embarrassing? How disgusting.
Enjoy the corn maze. Lots of corn in there. You know what I mean?
Lots of corn. There's a lot of corn in there.
Might be some zombies.
Be careful, you're gonna get drunk.
You get some corn.
Fire, water, earth, and air, brew this host and brew and fair, from grocery shelves, high and low, not one item labeled GMO. For if one is, and I'm not told, I will return the products I was sold. Now to find a non-GMO news site. Haha, GMOs. This witch's potion will not be fair. GMO products are extremely rare. You could thank the company Monsanto for lobbying against labeling like a pro.
Observe my latest creation.
A tomato that will be genetically modified will require very little insecticides in order to survive and grow.
A tomato so robust and so juicy, a person would be mad not to want to eat this on their sandwiches.
Excuse me, doctor. Excuse my ignorance, but wouldn't it be healthier to eat organics?
Organics? Are you insane? Are you unaware of the environmental factors that are influenced by organic farming? The fossil fuels? Did you know that it takes 3 times the effort and 2 times the cost to grow organically? Don't insult my logic again.
Sorry, doctor.
Anyway, if we can proceed with no more interruptions, we shall advance science today as we know it. Subject chemicals. Yes! It's alive!
As much as I love the money I get from GMO crops, I do feel guilty selling it, especially since I only eat organic food.
Shut up. I'll take your contract and I'll take your land.
I mean, I love GMO food.
Don't buy GMO corn. It's bad.
I will slander your reputation and kill you.
GMO's great.
people don't understand where I've come from. Now I gotta feed the people. Rain.
No, she's passed away. No, I've tried everything. I've spent so much money, so much time, and so many sleepless nights. Do you know what happened? Do you know what happened to my pet? You don't know what happened? You haven't been reading the signs. You're supposed to tell me. You're supposed to help me. Why can't you help me? You don't know what happened to my pig? She died. She passed away. Why can't you tell me? Gee. There's only one thing I can think of. There's only one thing I can think of, and it's the food I've been giving her. It's just, there's been theories going around that's genetically modified. There's just chemicals in it. And apparently, I just did surgery on her, and this is what I found. This is a large liver. What do I do with pigs that have a large liver? I can't use them. I can't do anything. Well, what is it doing to me? I'm eating the same food. I'm eating the corn that I put in her food. What am I doing? What's gonna happen to me? Please don't do that. Don't be careful what you eat, please. Please don't. Please, I can't bury any more souls today. Please, I can't. Please go on. Go to your family. Please.
Well, my take on GMO is that I've been farming since I was 16 years old. I'm 58, and I've seen many changes in the chemical use in growing crops. When I first grew up spraying and doing things out with the crops, it was really dangerous. The sprays we were using, for instance, atrazine, was proven that it just did not deteriorate in the soil. And it was being carried into the groundwater and causing all kinds of problems. We sprayed chemicals that if you got it on your hands, it was literally deadly. So in looking at GMO crops, the herbicides that we're using are much safer than, say, even 20 years ago. The comparison today, I would say, is comparing to the old DDTs that people used to use to spray on apples and things like that. That was just extremely toxic. Well, what we found is that by using these chemicals like Roundup, which is a GMO crop chemical, that we're using so much less of the herbicides, and the herbicides are so much less harsh, that I think it's actually a lot safer in the short term. Now, I can't tell you what 50 years is going to be from now, but I know from the past 30 years what we were doing by using those harsh chemicals. And on the positive side of the GMOs, we're using a lot less fossil fuels. We're growing a better crop, a better quality, and I just think for the ecology right now, I think it's much more beneficial, aside from the economic side of the chemical, which makes it much more advantageous for us to grow crops right now than 20 years ago.
Okay, so you use Roundup to get rid of weeds, unwanted plants, anything like that,
Right.
insects. What's your take on some of the weeds that are modifying themselves through like natural selection that are Roundup resistant?
Well, I think that's just points out the fact that this genetically altered crop is not all that much different than a crop that just alters itself. And I don't see where that's really a negative thing. It's a negative thing for the farmers because it's becoming harder and harder to kill weeds, and it's going to be more expensive in the future. But as far as the naturally altering itself plant, it doesn't seem like it's a lot different than the GMO crops that are being produced in the laboratory.